back after a very, very, very long time.
Absolutely hectic but memorable and few lifetime cherishing moments for us. So to begin with, our signature Spain tour, World Football Summit Spain tour. So that was a huge kind of a B2B success this time, and not to miss a stopover at Zurich at the FIFA headquarters and FIFA museum. So that tour is also now lined up for all the football fans. So
Did you like roam in Barcelona the way you roam in Delhi and Mumbai metro?
and for you, I think lifetime memories for you.
Yeah. It's more than celebrating Diwali.
Yeah.
It was genuinely celebrating sports, celebrating cricket, and all of us went to watch the match to see the experience and to like tick one thing from our checklist that we also watched a women's World Cup game that happened in Mumbai. All of us cried because it was unbelievable. I mean, it was like much to expect from everybody to think that we will lift the World Cup because there was a lot of challenges throughout this tournament. But I remember saying one thing that if India has to win a World Cup, then I think this team is the team that can lift the World Cup. So it was just crazy.
And lots of father and daughter emotional moments to witness.
Jemmy with the father, Harman with her father, everybody with their family, and was so crazy. I mean, I just feel that this is the stuff of brains, and this is what you want every Indian sports person to see on screens, and every sports fan to see on screen. It is that dream come true.
So many of our viewers and my friends, they just texted me that you have started this Baap Beti and Banter, and here we are watching a lot of father and daughter emotional drama after the match and the celebrations. So that's crazy. So that's the sports relations and the emotions that we share as a India or as a global audience. We share all these bonds. So we were discussing about women in sports. So I think this is the right time to plug in that topic.
I know. I mean, this entire campaign genuinely made us realize that it is not just about being equal. It is about being unique.
Yes.
So it's that journey of the Indian women's cricket team from why should boys have all the fun to fighting for their rights to then getting rights, the kind of facilities, and to get that kind of support before they even won anything big, and now from that to being unique. So there was a comment where not to compare, but there was a comment where one parent commented that I want my son to play like Jemima. So now we said that the Indian team and the women's team wants to break all the barriers and wants to break all the records. So they not just broke records, they chased the highest score, but they broke barriers of now the parents wanting their kids to play like the female cricketers. Now this is what you call a revolution, and this is what you call an evolution, which was set up from 1970s, 1980s, and which is the history books. But now this is the reality where it's women's cricket and Indian women's cricket finding the map on world stage.
No, absolutely. All the gender barriers and gender biases mainly, they have now all like vanished. So I have witnessed all the sprint wins of PT Usha. Then you have witnessed all the badminton revolution. Before that, we have seen Karnam Malleshwari, Mary Kom, and all those Indian women fighting at the global level and winning medals, winning gold medals for us. So that's the evolution of women's sports in India. And now, cut to, it's a revolution. So it's a very exciting time. And the timeline, if you go back, say, right from Shubhangi Kulkarni to Zulan Goswami to Mithali Raj to all the women cricketers, hats off to them. Our current Indian women's cricket team also, they had their big salute for all these past players and gifting them the trophy. So that was a nice gesture.
They laid the foundation, laid the foundation, they made that dream come true, and they gave the hope to carry the baton forward, and now we don't have the baton, we have the trophy in the hand, and it feels so crazy. And madly grateful to have witnessed all this live. I mean, right from the WPL season 1, the shift, the character change, and the approach change in this team from where even Amol Muzumdar was appointed. What a story! This is a movie in real time. This is a real life story. Amol Muzumdar, one Indian women's team coach who never played for the Indian men's team, has thousands of runs in his career. Watching Richa hit crazy, hit big in the nets, interviewing Shefali the last time she played for India, from that to see them winning the trophy, I mean, this circle was complete. It was just crazy.
And the most important thing, I suppose, is the mental change or a mental shift. You must have witnessed, like, working with all these Indian women team and the support staff. So when and what was that mental shift that happened and you felt that, boss, this is a new India team?
So having heard that Harman Smriti went to Australia for WBBL and they got the strength training. I mean, Australians are match winners. Even in the semi-finals, till the end, till we won and hit the last runs, we knew that they are so crazy and they are so deeply gutted that they know that they can come out from any difficult situation. So having played with and against them in Australia, not even in India, which is like our fortress, so they got some practice and training regimes that we could implement in the Indian ecosystem, the domestic circuit, the individual unique training and the specialized training that we can say. That was the first shift. The second shift was the WPL. Yes, people used to call it women's IPL, but from that to having its own separate identity, playing with and against the international players, understanding why all of them are match winners. So that is literally an arc of a champion, an arc of the entire 15 players that played, 16 players that played in the entire campaign. And this is where now you change from challengers to contenders. And what changed for the people watching this sport and watching the women's game was that in the New Zealand match, it was record-breaking attendance of more than 25,000 fans. For semi-final, everyone was just like, we'll get to watch a crazy match, hoping that it will be a 2017 rewind. And then it was. That was also a record-breaking attendance by the fans. And then the final. It was more than 35,000 people.
I tried for more than 10 hours to get the ticket. It was like, it's coming. And suddenly somewhere midnight, 2 or 3 a.m., the show has ended. So
you know, that is a banter not between us but with other people. More than 35,000 people at 2 a.m. in the night after winning the trophy, staying late till all of us were kicked out of the stadium. So for me to tell this to anybody, that when India won their first ever World Cup, I was there. So I mean, it's crazy now, the shift even in the fans. So Harman's 171 in 2017 was a revolution, and it made people watch women's cricket. We lost the final by 9 runs, but when they came back, it was a great reception at the Mumbai airport, and now they respected the women's game. But I think Jemima's 127 was like a statement to the world
cricket,
because it was a record-breaking knock. I think even in men's and women's ODI World Cup knockouts, this target has never been chased. So it's a statement that be it any jersey, this can be changed. And now that has changed the face of women's cricket.
Absolutely. But there is another one point or one statement that we should consider, and we should also throw up for all our viewers, is that the men's game and women's game are two different entities. What we do is we keep on comparing with them, right? And then we keep on comparing the disparities, the prize money. They are two separate entities. They have their two separate set of rules and regulations, two separate ball games, and we can enjoy both the entities men's sports and women's sports separately, individually, and we can respect both the sports. So
even Kapil Dev said that please do not compare this win to the 1983 win. They need to be they need to have their own
Absolutely.
unique identity and own unique mark of their victory, and that needs to be remembered not with the 1983
Yeah.
win, but as a standalone and as a
2025.
separate victory.
Yeah. And to prove my point, Nadia Kominski, the gymnast that achieved 10 out of 10 for the first time, I suppose 76 Montreal Olympic or in the 70s. She wasn't compared with any of the Chinese gymnasts of that time. She had and still she has her own identity as a sportswoman. Or you can say Flojo, the US sprinter. She was never compared with Carl Lewis or Wayne Johnson or anybody. Or we can say Martha, the Brazilian football legend. She's never been compared with Pele and Messi or Maradona or Neymar or Ronaldo. So they have their separate entities and we should respect and we should follow them separately.
Do you feel that keeping cricket aside, this never has or does not ever happen with football?
No,
like we
never.
discussed it, we watched
yes.
like women's football matches, we followed the FIFA Women's World Cup that happened in Australia and New Zealand. So I never felt that there was some inequality, some comparison.
It was a record-breaking attendance, record-breaking TV viewership, sponsorship. Even the same Diva Patil, you saw the history being made by Indian women's team, and we saw history being made by Spanish under-17 girls or women's team in FIFA under-17 Women's World Cups. I was there in Barcelona watching Barcelona FC Barcelona Femini, and Lopez was there on the right side of the pitch. And oh shit, I said, yeah, we watched her and we watched her play at the Diva Patil. And now here she was the champion, the winning team of Spain and Barcelona, and she the graph was there. So it's a different ball game, it's a separate ball game, and that's why we shouldn't be mixing all these kind of emotion, social issues and all these issues with the women's sports. Let her be enjoying her own story, write her own story and write her own history. So that's the liberty at least we should give them. So, and as far as market is concerned or a business is concerned, so just to run through with some figures, because stats and facts and figures, they are like very much valued now in these banters. So women's sports in this 2025 is expected to be 2.35 billion. So that's the massive rise from 2024. So it's a more than 40 to 50% rise. And where they have attributed, it's overall revenue, then commercial revenue. So commercial revenue is $1.26 billion. It's about the 54% of overall revenue. And secondly, important for you, the broadcasting revenue is around 25% of the whole women's sports business. So this is how women's sports is evolving in India and globally. So increased participation. So we have seen, as far as football is concerned, 124% rise in women's footballers registration. Every nook and corner in every city and village we see girl being taken to badminton court or a tennis court or a swimming pool. So girls participation has increased. Even at the Khelo India, the girls participation has increased massively, and now Indian Olympic contingent is 50-50. So the girls are really going places with the sports. Another important thing is brand and sponsorship. So that is also somewhere we yet to catch with the world, but we are definitely catching. The change that we can observe and change is really there, and we are experiencing that change.
The Indian women's football team, what can we say? Now they've qualified
for the Asian Games, Asian football at all the age groups, the senior team, the junior team, and under 19 age group. So they have qualified at all the Asian level. And mind you, Indian women's football team is ranked higher than the men's team. They are around 50,
but
55.
There's no comparison.
Exactly.
There.
Sorry.
There's no comparison. See, we've literally grown up doing this. We've literally grown up comparing ki they are going to hit a 6 only because the boundary for the women's game is smaller than a men's game. Have you watched Richa Ghosh hitting a 6? In any game, men's or women's, she's going to hit it out of the park. She's going to hit it in the stands. So why to compare? Now, I think that will stop.
I think
after
that's the basic lesson that we
Yeah.
have got out of this Women's Cricket World Cup.
I am just waiting to see how the WPL starts. It's
Yeah.
perfect timing for the WPL season to start.
Mm.
Starts in the new year, where this victory is just going to be fresh. They're going to be prepping for the T20 World Cup that is in the next June. We've
Oh.
had bad memories of the last T20
Yeah.
World Cup. And I mean, now I'm just waiting to see the change in attitude and approach of these
Yes,
girls.
absolutely. So this WPL would be a massive sea change that we'll see, not only about the Indian women cricketers, but all those Australian and New Zealand and South African
Yeah.
names now
Yeah.
all are Indian cricket fans. So this WPL would be a very interesting, very relevant because of this recent
Yeah.
Cricket World Cup.
You know, it takes me back to, sorry for being filmy, but it takes me back to one dialogue from Dangal, where the father and daughter again, they sit before every match, analyze the strategy, and he tells her what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
Before the final, she goes and asks to her father that what is the game plan for the final. He does not give her any statistical advice. He does not give her any tactics or not a game plan. He just says that if you lose, you will become an example and you will stay a silver medalist. But if you win, you will set an example for the generations to come, for the girls who were allowed or not allowed to play. And I mean, this dialogue, living through this dialogue, but now the entire perspective, storyline,
Yes.
and everything has changed.
But again, I'm not acting like a devil's advocate, or I'm not a pessimistic, or I'm not going kind of a cliche. Going beyond this euphoria that we have, or surrounded with women's cricket and women in sports in general, I think we should give them a proper time, proper system, proper ecosystem, and proper foundation and proper planning. So we should, obviously we should catch this momentum, but we should now plan it very systematically and going to the basics, going to the basic foundations.
Yeah.
We should start from there, and the summit we have already achieved. So that's how it is with the women's sports. And,
Yeah. Crazy New Year to look forward to. And
no, before New Year, December is coming. What's in December? Messi! So Messi is coming to India. So unfortunately, he's not playing in Kerala. So those friendlies are not possible. But certainly Messi would be there in Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata. So Messi.
Yeah, it's going to be a Messi Mania
Yeah.
as a Christmas gift to all the
Yeah.
people from India, and it's going to be crazy. But even next year, there's something interesting.
Yeah, the many things, the finalissima. So Messi versus Lamine Yamal. So that would be a fantastic game. Again, the nearest and the cheapest, as we say, it would be at Lusail Stadium, Doha, where we have been there. We have watched matches over there. So
Messi has won the
final there.
Yeah.
And like Anya was staying like late night at Diva Patil. We were there outside Lusail, just remembering what had happened and how Messi had won. So literally till the dawn we were there outside the Lusail, just having a sip of coffee, by the way. And El Clásico moment. So that's again nearest and the cheapest. El Clásico at Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. We also we were there a few years back, and now again it's your chance to be there to watch El Clásico, watch Madrid Derby, watch Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico, and possibly the El Clásico at the final.
We've not watched an El Clásico live in a stadium, right?
No, not yet. Not yet.
We did not banter anything about women's sports and women in sports because both of us are beamingly proud and happy to see this evolution. But one thing we will keep on bantering is if we are going to watch the El Clásico live in the stadium, I think we won't come back home very happy. We will fight.
Absolutely,
and one of us will cry because that's where the banter begins. So this year is ending with great memories and some core memories that we've made for a lifetime and that the fans will make for a lifetime in December. And the next year is going to start with like a marathon of sporting events. It's unending.
Yes.
I mean, like we see players playing back-to-back tournaments after the World Cup, the leagues and everything. We as fans are tired. because कुछ ना कुछ तो चल ही रहा है टीवी पे and that is going to be unending. So stay tuned with us and we are back with Baap Beti and Banter.